Really good match on Sunday. Obviously, NCAA tournament stakes are a lot higher. A lot of players that came back for this opportunity to compete, in the national tournament and look to make a run. And I thought we did a really good job, managing a lot of expectation. We played a really good Western Michigan team. They went undefeated in the MAC the last 2 years in the regular season. They were vastly underseeded in this tournament. And so an incredibly difficult draw with an in-state opponent can come with a lot of pressure. And I thought our players managed all those things really well and really shined through to get a complete result through those 90 minutes.
Jeff, with Texas, you talked about having a lot of possession. Can you try to talk to a little more as you've dove into that scout?
Yeah, so Texas has just incredible talent, on their roster. Lexi Misimo is one of, if not the best player in college soccer, playing in the middle of the park for them. As a 10, a true playmaker. I think she led the country in assists last year. So they're very dynamic going forward on the attack. They're definitely a possession-oriented team, so very similar stylistically to us on the attacking side of the ball. They want to keep it. Really, their primary objective is to constantly switch the point of attack and use pivot play. Try to exploit or isolate players in wide spaces to exploit those 1v1 matchups. So we're going to have to be really good. Beers and Renee are going to have to be really sharp in their 1v1 moments. We're going to have to really be more committed to understand our second defender roles and getting more numbers around the ball and try to make spaces a little bit tighter defensively. But I think we can really break out on them as well. We've been very good with the ball ourselves. I think we've been doing a really good job blurring lines from the possession standpoint. We just got to try to, manufacture a few more opportunities and then be more efficient in front of goal.
When you talk about players coming back, sometimes that creates a little bit of pressure on them, right, to achieve and kind of build on whatever happened the year before. And I know obviously you guys went to the third round last year, so how have you seen your players handle that pressure and really carry that throughout this season?
Yeah, it is a difficult thing to manage. I think we did it with flying colors for the first half of the season as we hit that #1 ranking in the country, continued the top 5 ranking. I think it started to build a little bit more on them and wore on them. And then as we had some players take some knocks and miss some games at times, with the already season-ending injuries that we had earlier in the season, it just kind of add up to a formula of a lot of pressure all the time. What I love about our team right now, and we've been able to kind of recenter ourselves over the last 2 weeks prior to this Western Michigan game, is that I think this team, again, has a lot of belief in what they're doing. They have a lot of belief in each other. They're playing a lot freer than they were. I think you could see that in our interchanges and our possession, and the intensity in which we defended in the game against Western this weekend. And so I think this group's really excited for this opportunity. And, maybe a situation we haven't had all year where at least the ranking or the seeding says that we're the underdog. So I think our team will relish that type of role and give our best effort on Friday.
With going back to Texas with Amalia, I'm just curious how well you knew her prior to going down there, and what you've seen from her, obviously with the SEC Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, you had to go there, huh? Amalia is just a great player. She obviously is having an incredible freshman campaign. No surprise to me. She's a great kid, great family. We recruited the heck out of Amalia, try to get her here at Michigan State. I think our success just hadn't been established quite enough yet for Michigan State to be her final choice. But incredible kid. She's very dangerous. They move her around a lot to try to create those isolated moments I spoke about. Whether that's on the wing or a little bit deeper as a 10 to pick up the ball. But a very complete player, and we'll have to be aware of where she is on the field at all times.
Anyone else?
When you talk about recruiting and establishing the reputation, how big is this moment for you guys to really build on that, what you've done in the past, and sort of, build that reputation up?
Yeah, I think the exposure of our game on a national scale, not just for kids that are involved in soccer on a daily basis, but the attention that's paid to it. with social media and everything else, like they know exactly what's going on with all the results. So these kids are watching it, high schoolers are watching. They want to see how teams match up, what it looks like stylistically, what the results are in the end. And, you know, for us the stability we've shown to make the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row, you know, there's 64 spots for 358 teams. So to make the field is very challenging. But we've not only made it, we've hosted games, and we've advanced to the second round in all 3 of these years. And so when you're part of that final 32, when you're in a second weekend, I think that cements a certain status of a program. Stability and sustainability are really important characteristics for that, because, you know, one team can have a highlight year, but that maybe not make the tournament the next year. So recruiting's an always thing. And so being able to have this opportunities on an international spotlight again is going to be super important for us.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.